From New York, the greatest city in the world, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, Brian Williams and New York Jets head coach Rex Ryan. Plus Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, a Bottomon Realtor with a brand new listing. Dave Letterman. Thank you. Thank you very much. You folks seem like you're in a good mood. What, has something happened? You folks enjoy the Osama bin Laden season finale? Well, we finally killed bin Laden. Boy, that didn't take long. He's living in a compound in Pakistan, 12-foot-high walls, very thick, and on top of the walls, concertina barbed wire. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the more I know about this guy, the more it's like I have a twin.
Just like
It's like I have a twin.
Just like a twin.
Here is a picture of the compound where they broke in and took care of Osama.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. That's...
Who is that?
That's Jeter's place. That's a mix-up. Forget that.
Okay.
Forget that. Yeah, they were very clever, the CIA. These guys know what they're doing. They got into the compound. They had a guy posing as a Domino's kid. Got your pie here. You got your pie.
How it works.
But they had the place under surveillance for a long time, this compound where they got Osama bin Laden, and there were tips. You know how, like, let me ask you this. Your neighborhood, if Osama bin Laden is living like 2, 3, 4 houses down, pretty soon you know about it, right? You kind of get the feeling that, you know, the big house on the corner with the barbed wire? You know who I heard who's living there? Did you hear? It's Osama.
Oh.
Here's another tip. Look at this. Now, this is, I think, taken from a satellite. Just can you pan a little to the left and zoom in a little? There. Can you see right there? Okay. I want to thank my friend Bob at the CIA for that graphic. He said, hey, I thought you'd get a kick out of this, and he sent it over. Oh, my God, but how about those Navy SEALs? I mean, honestly. We're getting our money's worth out of those guys, aren't we? They jump out of a helicopter and they break into the compound and they fire a warning shot in his head. So that's I was, before I came out here, as I do every night, I was meeting with some non-sectarian clergymen.
Oh, yes.
And they were telling me that there's already been some trouble for Osama bin Laden in the afterlife.
Oh, is that so?
Apparently it's a mix-up. It happens all the time. Just a paperwork kind of a deal.
Uh-huh.
He was greeted by 72 vegans.
Oh.
So, I'll get it. I'll get it straightened right out. Ladies and gentlemen, time now for Fox News News Clip of the Night. Here we go.
And may God bless the United States of America.
President Obama speaking from the East Room of the White House, telling the nation and the world President Obama is in fact dead.
That reminds me of the time. Remember Ernie Onassis here in New York City? Remember that?
Yes.
And he's talking with the sports guy and the weather guy and his co-anchor, and he encouraged everybody at home to keep on screwing a duck. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Love to see that.
Huh?
If we could find that. I'd love to see that again.
Yeah, maybe do we have that? I bet you we
great.
We have it? Oh, yeah, let's take a look at it. We have
so
it. How
great.
about that?
It's a tough man to make a tender forecast, Nick.
I guess that's me.
Keep that chicken.
Okay, I'll do
All right.
I'm sorry. Wow. I'm sorry, it was chicken.
Yeah.
Wasn't a duck at all.
Still,
You know, the good news is Bin Laden lived long enough to see the royal wedding. How many?
Nice, yeah.
How many got up at 4 to see the?
was up.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And this morning, first thing, Prince William had to return that outfit to Captain Crunch. Just got right back there.
Right.
And Obama, everybody was excited about the. Did you see the press conference? And it's not just people here, inside the White House. Did you see this? I don't know if they had to take this out for the West Coast, but look at this last night during the announcement. This is look at this.
Over 2 decades,
The guy.
Bin Laden has been Al-Qaeda's leader and
There he
symbol.
is. Now see that?
Continued to plot attacks
That
against
shouldn't have
What's
happened.
that guy doing?
But people saying, well, where's the body? What'd they do with Osama? Well, they got him, and he was. They put him on the helicopter, and they went through his pocket,
Right. Yeah.
looking for change and keys and
Anything. Right.
got his wallet, and then he buried him at sea.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they did after they were done. They did some DNA stuff on him, and maybe put him in a funny hat. I don't know.
Whatever.
So that means just about now he should be arriving in hell. Ladies and gentlemen, look who's here. Our friend Paul Schaefer, everybody.
Thank you, David.
We'll be right back with everybody's favorite Brian Williams.
When we come back, top 10 final words of Osama bin Laden and Brian Williams. And now, ineffective duck calls. Get over here, duck! We'll be back after this.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. America's mighty party and show band. Thank you very much. Let's just spend a couple of minutes here thinking about the Navy SEALs. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm telling you, whenever there's trouble, whenever you have to thread the eye of a needle,
Send them in.
you send these guys in. And I remember when I was a kid, it was always like the 101st Airborne or the 82nd Airborne. They were always the can-do, go-to guys. And then after that, it became the Green Berets.
Yeah, oh.
And then you had, I think, just Special Forces generally. And then the Army, you had the Rangers. And now it's the Navy SEALs.
Navy
And,
SEALs.
oh, my God. How about a tip of the hat to those boys? Whoa. I heard, and people are always saying to me, hey, what do you say? Let's rent one of those helicopters and go flying around Manhattan. I said, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a kind of a motto, fixed wing aircraft only.
Yeah,
because
that's what you say.
helicopters are constantly dropping out of
They
the
go
sky.
down.
I don't know why. Doesn't seem to be pilot error, but they're constantly dropping out of the sky. Well, the same thing happened on this raid. We're going to Osama bin Laden's house. You want? Yeah, let me get my helicopter. I'll go with you.
Right.
And they get the thing, and he's hovering right over there by the pool, and boink, the thing just down.
Goes down.
And I heard a guy today say that's not a problem for the Navy SEALs. They count on losing equipment. They count on, you know, running out of gas. And so when they get their, when they take care of the wet work, then they get ready and they load everybody back on the other helicopters and they launch a missile into the wreck there, and then they blow that thing up and then they're out of there.
Really, that's...
I mean, they're back at what do you call it? Having a cheeseburger.
yeah.
They're over at they go back to, where do they go? Huh? No, where Dick Clark always goes at midnight.
P.J. Clark.
P.J. Clark's having a cheeseburger.
That's where they are, yeah. Yes. Hit their watch.
That's right.
Yeah. They're already at P.J. Clark.
It's P.J. Clark's, and you should have known that.
Yeah.
And then another tip of the hat, Brian Williams. Now here's a guy. Is there a guy busier than Brian Williams today? No, there's nobody busier than Brian Williams today. They're expanding the evening of the NBC thing to 1 hour, so he's doubly busy. At the very last minute, we say, oh my gosh, can you come over here and be on our show? Now normally, even with 6-7 months notice, the answer is, no, not really.
Right.
But because he's the kind of guy he is the Navy SEALs of American news journalism.
Yes. He is here. He's with us tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just want you to rest easy. We have our own version of the Navy SEALs standing by for security. Not a problem. Don't worry. Don't break a sweat. Where is the kid? There he is. It's going to be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10 list. Let's go. But there are many questions. This raises many, many questions because Pakistan is saying, what? You're kidding.
Well.
That Osama bin Laden?
Yeah.
Now here's what we have. Talk about insider information. We had a mole. We got a guy working in the CIA, pretty high up operative, and he got for us now. He took his recorder with him. Final words of Osama bin Laden.
His last words.
Final 10 of them right here, fresh from the State Department. Final words of Osama bin Laden. Here we go, number 10. My horoscope says big surprises are in store. Number 9. See, this is why I normally don't answer the door. Number 8. The one time I give my bodyguards a day off to go to the zoo. They go to the zoo. Number 7. What on earth could be interrupting Celebrity Apprentice? Number 6. I hear Brian Williams is on Dave to discuss my imminent demise. Number 5. At least I'll be reunited with my dear departed friend Jack LaLanne. What? What? Did you know they knew each other?
No, it's
I
funny
had no
how
idea.
these celebrity relationships
I had no idea.
go on, yeah.
Number 4. I'm not sure I want to live in a world where Fast 5 is the #1 movie. Number 3. Any man with multiple wives welcomes death. Am I right, fellas? Am I right, fellas?
Am I right, folks?
Fellas, hey, fellas. And number 2, I need a house full of Navy SEAls like I need a hole in the head. And the final words of Osama bin Laden, number 1. Oh, crap. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, Brian Williams will join us. Thank you so very much. Nice. That's like a little Joe Cocker going on there.
A little show.
Absolutely. Well, I can't thank our first guest enough for making the time and taking the trouble to be over here today. He is an Emmy-winning and a Peabody Award-winning anchor and managing editor of the NBC Nightly News. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Brian Williams. Let's go. Well, first of all, thank you very much for being here. It's such a busy day, and it seems like every day in the world of news is busy, but especially today. So thanks again for making the time. To come
thank
over.
you for having me. Not every day do you get this. I brought you the papers. There you go. You got a...
Got him. I noticed the news jumps in there with a little editorialism.
Yeah, a little bit of...
The Post, you would expect something more from the Post, but all you got there is got him.
Yeah.
You know, here, this will be good. Let's hold a picture of the Post, you and I, and then it'll be in the Post tomorrow, holding the picture of the Post. Get this out of the way. All right, hold it. Wait a minute.
That's good.
Brian, tell me everything you know about this situation, and tell me when you knew it and what you did when you first heard about it.
The absolute truth, my wife and I, who are, as we've established, old people with no children left at home, had a Sunday night dinner in our town. We had pizza. I think she had some sort of salad, and we came home. I had a piece on Dateline last night, and we wanted to see 60 Minutes because of the Lara Logan segment last evening. So we were, again, doing what old people do, catching up on the TiVo,
right.
you know, and during a commercial break, I checked my BlackBerry, and there was an email from a senior official at the White House. At that moment, the home phone rang. I was told explicitly what it was. They said you might want to get in the chair as soon as possible. They said we've got OBL, and this is close hold, White House parlance for top secret, and the last words this official said were, tell no one.
No one, yeah. And the phone call, same as the person who BlackBerried you? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went upstairs. I've just come back from a crazy trip. I'd had 6 flights in 4 days, and I had a suitcase upstairs that had pieces of a London trip, a Tuscaloosa trip, and a Washington trip over 3 days. I put another layer in there, and my wife had started my car, and it was aimed out the driveway. She wanted to make sure it had gas.
Yeah.
She put a bottle of water in the beverage holder. I'm married to a fantastic woman for 25 years, and I might have exceeded state and local speed limits on my way to 30 Rock.
Now, this is a whole different show, but I've heard in the past your wife has, this is not the first time she started the car and had it aiming away from the house.
Yes.
But that's a whole, that's a whole different deal.
That was the order of, you know, that order of protection has expired, so we're good now.
First of all, who knew about this in advance? It seems to me, like we talked earlier, Osama bin Laden is living in your neighborhood. Everybody knows.
You go back to Google Earth 2005, zero in on this plot of land, and you can see construction begin. This is a town where he settled, oddly, Dave, where a lot of Pakistani military officers go to retire. It's like their Sanibel Island. There are golf courses, there are restaurants, and while a lot of that region is the Stone Age, this was a nice house. And this was a conspicuously nice house that had no phone service and no garbage pickup. They burned all their refuse. It is believed he might have gone there to seek medical aid at one time, to be in a specific set structure, but there were concentric rings of security around this. There was a 7-foot wall on just the 3rd floor balcony to keep prying eyes away. But it wasn't built any better than U.S. intelligence.
So what? I would have to believe that the Pakistan countrymen knew about this, And moreover, at what point did the United States intelligence know about this? Because it didn't just come up in the last couple of days.
No, it didn't. And again, in the parlance of the Pentagon, they've had eyes on this region for years. Various drones, satellites, looking for anything. This has been a terrible thumb in our eye for a decade. After President Bush's famous statement, dead or alive. You know, when you talk to senior military folks, even over in Afghanistan, even after hours off the record, they try saying, look, I don't waste too much time thinking about this guy. And you know the opposite is true, and some of them admit it. This was the big one.
You didn't entirely answer the question, and I understand that.
It came as a result of interrogation.
Interrogation.
We got a name of a courier,
right?
Just a nickname, but that was enough to go on. So we tracked down the actual name of the courier, followed the courier who brought him to us. It's like the movie cliche, we wait till he makes a mistake.
Was there, feeding conspiracy theories now, was there any reason ever for the United States to know and not act?
That's a great question. I think not. I mean, remember, the president watched this in real time from the Situation Room. Leon Panetta at the CIA watched this on a separate screen in real time from his office. And what harrowing television it was, because one of these two choppers, and we've seen this movie before in the Desert Raid, and in Black Hawk Down in Somalia, one of the two choppers goes down. They then load it with explosives as not to leave any evidence on the battlefield, because I've been in one of these, they're called PAVLOWs, P-A-V-E-L-O-W. It's what Special Forces uses. They're big, hulking, old airframes, but they are entirely tricked out with technology. Very impressive helicopters, but you don't want to leave any of that around.
I remember, and forgive me, it was a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, a triple agent came into CIA headquarters in Pakistan and detonated himself and killed the core of the agency in that outpost. Did that have anything to do with this?
Not that anyone has mentioned to me. This was going on a separate track. It gets its start with a now famous memo President Obama wrote to Leon Panetta saying, look, let's get back to making this a priority. And remember this very strange occurrence Saturday night. Your friend Donald Trump is there at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. 2,600 people in one ballroom at the Washington Hilton. I think this was my 26th of these dinners. And we all are able to invite guests at our table. I had next to me the head of U.S. Central Command, who, looking back, knew everything. The news on Saturday night that we were buzzing about was the strike at Gaddafi's house, the death of his son. But the president knew. Presidents have to keep being presidents, work right through whatever else is going on. Every president in the history of this dinner, going back decades, has done kind of a Shecky stand-up routine. It's like George W. Bush, who chose to keep reading the children's book in that classroom because he said he had to keep being president, and to do anything else would alarm people.
What about the details of the raid and the attack do you know? For example, we're told that it was 4 or 5 people. It was presumably his wife and one of his wives and one of his sons, and that the woman used as a human shield, whether she placed herself in that role or whether she was placed in that role. Well, do you know any of that, or is that all fanciful?
I do, and we have some idea which of our special operations teams carried this out. And it happens to be a team I flew into Baghdad with on the condition that I would never speak of what I saw on the aircraft we were on, what they were carrying, and who they were after. But all of it was shared with me. It's common when covering a war, because to reveal that would be to endanger Americans. We do know that the first story was, again, almost movie style. This woman was used as a bodily shield. There was an active kinetic firefight, an exchange of fire. Blood can be seen in video inside the house. There's an aero mattress inside the house. Believe me, for this town and this country, this was a mansion valued at $1 million, 8 times larger than the nearest other private parcel of land. But they made a mistake. It's as if they built a house with what the military calls an LZ, a landing zone, right there adjacent to it. So these big beasts come in, guns blazing, before anyone knew what was happening, Osama was dead.
What about the possibility of taking him alive? Do you think that was on the agenda, or did it make any difference at this point?
I don't know the specific wording of the presidential order to this mostly Navy SEAL, but some CIA team. I think they would have tried to do that, but I think the wording might have run contrary to that. They took his dead body while under fire off that battlefield. We believe there are death photos. The standard of proof is going to be very high on this. Some people will never believe, absent proof, that the body they have now buried at sea. After a Muslim service, they washed the body, wrapped it in white. Apparently, a member of the religion was there, the clergy, and it has been dumped into the sea off the carrier Carl Vinson, which we last saw when I was in Haiti after the earthquake. It was the carrier that provided aid offshore.
Explain that part of this. Explain that part of this. Is it so self-conscious? Is it ceremonial under other circumstances? We certainly wouldn't expect that for our dead and wounded, would we?
Adolf Hitler was buried under a parking lot. This was done to avoid making a modern-day martyr's shrine, a place where people would come, a source of energy in the ground, in effect. That's the early guidance I got, that they thought that the at-sea burial
and
was
the
best
adherence
option.
with the Muslim burial law.
That's right, but there are conservative Muslims who've already said today that this goes against their understanding of Muslim law.
Well, it's too bad, because the guy really was such a saint. When you get right down to it, to have... you hate to see something like that taint such a great career. All right, I'll tell you what, we'll be right back with Brian Williams, everybody. But not to revisit this till we're all exhausted, but the notion that Osama bin Laden, may have been living in this location for a half a dozen years minimum, maybe even more. Does it surprise you that it took us that long to prove that that's where he lived, to hear that that's where he lived?
One thing really pisses me off here, and that is that we Americans have used as an expression since 9/11 something along the lines of, yeah, but at least he's living in a cave tonight. At least he's on the run in a cave.
Right.
To see how he lived has made me very angry. To see that he had this, not only a roof over his head, 3 stories worth, a lot of security, apparently medical care and creature comforts, with so much blood on his hands. And don't forget, Dave, how many Muslim lives this man has taken as well. Locally, I was at Engine 23 in Midtown Manhattan today. On their wall, remember, Midtown Firehouse, there are 6 guys' pictures up there. This engine company responded from Midtown that day, came back, lost their rig, lost their membership, that entire shift. And the first thing I wanted to do today was spend time with the members of this engine company and ask them how they felt. The word I keep hearing from them and other very patriotic Americans is justice.
Yeah. Yeah. The notion that the Pakistani government knew where he was hiding, is that surfaced? Is that going to be a problem for them, problem for us?
I'll answer your question with a question. What does it tell you that the White House didn't call Pakistan and say, hey, good news, here's the GPS coordinates, we found him.
Can you send a guy out?
Running by? Yeah, send a squad car over and pick him up.
Hey, wait a minute. People smarter than I am tell me that we have to be very careful diplomatically here, because while something may have been hinky about this, we can't afford really to irritate them at a diplomatic level.
This is a huge jigsaw puzzle, and luckily they're all smarter than me too. And here we are in the middle of Arab Spring, the subject of our last conversation here. All this good news is popping and breaking out and reforms exploding. What will this do? This won't be seen the same way twice in any nation. I mean, this will have its own interpretation. So, and again, here in New York City, More automatic weapons this morning at Penn Station, Grand Central, LaGuardia, JFK, Newark. Last night, it was eerie. I was driving, again, at the aforementioned high rate of speed across Midtown Manhattan, and those so-called Hercules missions that you see, 12 to 24 police cars riding around with lights flashing, there were 3 times more of those. Very eerie, kind of an empty Sunday night in the city, and I thought, well, here we go. You know, for those of us New Yorkers, and it was you and Lorne Michaels who gave us all permission, as they say, to laugh again. It takes nothing to bring me right back.
Right, absolutely.
If I drive anywhere near there, as I'm headed now, it takes nothing to bring me back to that day.
Yeah, and in terms of this man and, well, they found him. Here's where they found him, and then I'll get back to what I was going to say. This is his location, right? That's Pakistan. They always thought he was in the mountainous border region between Afghanistan and Pakistan.
I was told today the pronunciation is Abbottabad.
Abbottabad.
No, I've been calling this place Bada Bing for 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's
it's just outside of Islamabad.
That owes heavily to the fact that I'm from New Jersey, but that's the town. It's very close to Islamabad. It is notably not in Waziristan, where we were told he was. And now show the real estate brochure picture of the place. I mean, this is like Century 21.
Yeah.
This is, I'm telling you, in this part of the country, this is not just living well. I would mention his name, but the guy with the bad hair who they made fun of at the Correspondence' Dinner.
I heard a guy today explaining that the United States position was that Al-Qaeda has already been weakened, funds are drying up, manpower is drying up, we're seeing a new ideology in that part of the world, and while this is significant, it's not the crushing blow that it might have been years and years ago. This is symbolic, and it is certainly good that it happened. But in terms of being an obstacle for Al-Qaeda, gauge that for us.
Al-Qaeda is almost like a franchise operation. In another respect, it's almost like the old AT&T Ma Bell. It was broken into 9X, Bell South, Verizon. There are new affiliates that have their own view of terrorism. Was he a figurehead? Yes. Was he a part-time, almost honorary at this point CEO? Yes. Does a new generation come up behind all leaders? Yes, and that's taken place. So we've got problems now. We've got various Al-Qaeda branches with their own ideas. We have this guy in Times Square who, in the parlance of law enforcement, was an aspirational terrorist, almost wanting to get the attention of the cool guys on the team.
What about the guy at Fort Hood, Texas? Where would you put him in?
Oh, my goodness. Major Hassam. He was troubled from the start. You read his rantings, his writings, papers he produced. It was all there, but it was a matter of people not bumping him up the chain, but stopping him.
Now what we see going on, Egypt, Libya, Syria, et al., hopefully that wave of change comes back up on the beach in a positive way. Is that what we're hoping now?
Well, obviously, and Libya is the one in play right now. Egypt, there's been protests that the army, which was going to contain things temporarily, has not hastened change there. None of this stuff is going to happen overnight. These are sea changes. This is Egypt.
Everything's in play.
Hands.
Everything's in play. It's a dynamic,
and again,
fluid
some
situation.
other time we'll talk about the fact that it all now goes to Israel. Israel hasn't had a model for the last couple of years. Now, how do we live with these neighbors if they call themselves democracies? This is going to get very, very
Yeah,
tested.
calling yourself one thing and behaving a different way is tricky.
My passport is literally in the pocket of this jacket. And
well, again, I can't thank you enough. And by the way, I think that is the best hairpiece in television.
this is a new guy. This is a new guy.
That is
I
tremendous.
swim in this.
He's swimming.
I swim in it. I shower. This is really good. It's so lifelike. See, I've always liked yours.
Well,
and
thank you very much. I'm worried that I'm not getting my money's worth.
No, this thing, you just comb it dry, air dry. It's unbelievable.
It's Brian Williams, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back at the next time. In 2 years as head coach of the New York Jets, our next guest has taken his team to the AFC Championship twice. And his new book entitled Play Like You Mean It, Passion, Laughs, and Leadership in the World's Most Beautiful Game. From your New York Jets, here's Coach Rex Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. Let me ask you a question. Because of the lockout, I don't understand the lockout. What would you normally be doing anything now that you're not doing, or is it this pretty much falls within your off schedule?
Well, you know what? We just had the draft, so really it's almost been business as usual up until this point.
Right.
But you know, we're getting a little antsy for it.
How did the draft go?
Went well. I think every coach in the league thinks, you know, they had a great draft and things, but we'll see. We certainly filled some needs. We wanted to get...
What did you get that you really wanted?
Well, we got two giant guys that can help us on the defensive line. I think that's what we were needing, and so we accomplished that.
Now, when you draft a kid, do you look into his background? Do you make sure that he's going to be compatible, not just with your team, but compatible with the life of being a professional athlete?
Well, yeah, I tell you what, we have a great process. Mike Tannenbaum, our general manager, does a tremendous job. We bring a lot of guys in, and you know, we ask a lot of different questions and things like that. The main question I have for guys is I want to make sure that they're going to fit into the type of team that we have by you know, simply asking them, hey, are you willing to give us everything you got? If you are, you can play for us. If you're really not willing to commit like that, you can play in the league, but you just might not be able to play for the Jets.
Right. But what I worry about more and more now is the life that some of these guys, and really they're just kids when they come into this huge pressure cooker of fame and money and expectations. Are they going to be all right, and have they come from a place that they're going to need to mature, you know, and can you help them do that?
Well, you know, one thing that everybody has in common in our locker room and everybody else's is that everybody's made mistakes in their lives. You know, I'm certainly no different than they are even, but it's, you know, there is a maturing process and things, and at the Jets, we're fortunate we have a lot of means that we put into our guys where we think that every one of our players will be successful.
Were you head coach when Brett Favre was taking pictures of his thing and sending it around? Were you?
No, I wasn't. You know,
talk about bulletin board material. Coach, now it says it's the world's most beautiful game. Now, that's usually soccer is usually referred to as the world's most beautiful game. Tell us why, in your impression, football, American NFL football is the world's most beautiful game.
Well, it really is. I mean, because it's one of the only sports that it takes courage to play. You know, some of these guys, you mentioned soccer, whatever, I mean, it's not physical. You know, here you got to go. In football, the great thing about our sport is, you know, when guys running down on the kick team and covering a kick, you have no idea. You're going to be hit by somebody. You have no idea where it's coming from, but yet you go anyway, and I think that takes courage.
Yeah, and these athletes are so fast. It is if you're standing on the sideline and see an actual play run for real, the speed at which they maneuver is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and that's the thing it takes getting used to. When I coached in college for a number of years, and then I was an assistant for the Ravens for 10 years, and you know, things that you can get away from in college, you can't get away from, you know, even on the sidelines, like, oh, you know, you have to know that this guy's going to be flying over here in about 2 seconds.
Speaking of the sidelines, now you ran that play where you squeeze a guy over to the sidelines, and then one of your strength coaches takes something out of his bag and beats the guy silly. Now, look, there he is, right there. He's getting, now I got what you're talking about. Look at that. Doink. But I love this. This is the black arts of football. It exists. We don't talk about it, but it exists. It's like the phantom double play. It's like the brushback pitch. It's like you're putting something on the baseball. It's there. It's part of the game. We just don't talk about it. Am I right about that?
Not that particular case, you know. The bad thing, you know, fortunately the young man wasn't injured, you know, so that was a good thing. But you know, it's unfortunate. We had, I think, the best strength coach in football, and you know, he's no longer with us right now.
Yeah.
But so it's unfortunate. Hopefully, he'll get another opportunity.
But Coach, isn't it true that on that play, it's kickoff return or a punt return or something?
Yeah, it was a punt return.
Don't we try and squeeze a guy to the sideline just to make it, give him a little less room to operate?
Well, we definitely try to knock him out of bounds, and you know, that's certainly within the rules and things. But
That's right. And once he's out of bounds, hell, he might as well be on the parking lot. Might as well be on the Major Deegan. We don't know. We'll be right back with Rex Ryan. All right, your dad, Buddy, tremendous presence in the NFL, kind of made a name for himself as a defensive coordinator, then also as a head coach. But here was a guy, I think at one time he actually did put a bounty out on some players, a quarterback and a kicker. And whether that's true or not, you wouldn't do that, right?
no, absolutely would not do that. And
But Dad did
I don't
it.
know. I don't think
would,
Dad did it. I think what happened is, and as I recall the story, he said, "Why would they put a bounty on that guy? He can't play anyway." So
why waste a hit?
Case.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And how is your dad doing? By what is
He's
he?
doing well.
80 years old.
80 years old. He's battling cancer for the third time, but
Oh, my God.
like he told me, he says, "Oh, this is not going to whip me." So he's doing well. He just had surgery. He's out of ICU, but he's doing well.
Well, good. I hope for all the best for you and your family. What about the Patriots? What about Bill Belichick? What about the Giants? We have 30 seconds.
Okay, well, first off, you know, Bill Belichick, I have a great deal of respect for him and all that kind of stuff, but we plan on, you mentioned the Patriots and Giants, we plan on beating both of them next year. But they're two excellent teams, but I feel we're better.
Yeah. And backstage, you told me that you thought Belichick was effeminate. Is that what you
never said that.
No, I think that's what I heard backstage. I don't know. So
I get myself in enough trouble.
Yeah. Now, are we looking at the Jets? Oh, the Colts. Oh, leave the Colts alone. Just leave them alone. But are we looking at the Jets? I don't want them to get farther. What about the Colts? You'd rather see the Colts in the Super Bowl, wouldn't you?
No, absolutely not. I'd much rather be there. But, you know, we finally beat Peyton Manning. You know, he had whipped me so many times, you know, it was ridiculous. But, you know, it was awesome to finally, you know, take care of him.
All right, if there's a season this year, give us a prediction. How deep into the playoffs are we getting?
We're going all the way. I don't know about Indy, but we're going all the way.
There you go. Thank you very much. Coach Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, everybody.
Now stay tuned for Craig Ferguson. This is Alan Coulter speaking. Good night, everybody.
Worldwide Pants.